Welcome back, everybody. Phil the Issues Guy, and here I am to talk again about something I don't want to talk about. I mean, I want to talk about Better Call Saul. I could talk about Better Call Saul forever. The series might have ended. Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad might have been concluded, but I'm never going to be done talking about these amazing series. But I'm here again to come out here because I was lucky enough to get a wonderful request from Mummy Ray that requested a Better Call Saul stream this week. And initially, I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a stream about the celebration of the show finally getting the recognition it deserves in award season. We all know that the awards are a bunch of hooey anyway, and it doesn't completely matter. But it's still, when you actually look at the numbers on paper on how many times Better Call Saul has been nominated compared to some of the other great series that have never won awards, it's ridiculous. And I need to bitch about this. I need to talk about this. I need to rant about this. And I need to create a place where people can throw some comments, throw some thoughts, and get it out. I'm doing this at a Friday afternoon at 2 p.m. Initially, I was supposed to do this in the evening, but some plans changed, and I wanted to make sure I did this because Mummy Ray was so amazing to give us a super chat donation, and her only request was that I talk about Better Call Saul. I'm like, oh, that's the easiest thing in the world. So I'm out here to talk about my thoughts about why the show has been snubbed, continuously gets snubbed every single time. Let's get down to this. I wrote in the notes of this episode, this podcast here, that we've been that it's been snubbed. What is it? 25 times that it's been nominated for a big award. But when I look into it a little bit more, it's actually worse. It's been nominated for different awards 46 different times. That's right. You heard me. 46 different times, and it has not won a single one. Even the people that aren't like me, or some of the people that might check this out or check out any of the Better Call Saul content on my channel, I covered pretty much the entire show from season 1 all the way through, doing recaps of every episode. And this past season, I did some breakdown videos. If you're into Better Call Saul and you're looking for some more nonsense on it, I highly recommend you check out my stuff. And please, if you're checking this out live, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comment section. You can even call on in at 781-990-8509. Again, that's 781-990-8509. Share your thoughts about this snub. Why do you guys think this keeps happening? I don't know. You could say the sequelitis thing, but sequel series or prequel series or whatever, they've won awards too, whether it be The Godfather 2 or Frasier won a countless number of awards. I'm not saying I'm biased. I think Better Call Saul is at that table of the greatest shows of all time with Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, The Wire, The Sopranos. Right there, there's other shows I would mention and put in that list, but Mad Men's another one I would put in that list too. Other ones will pop into my head as I think about it. But the big boys table of the greatest TV dramas of all time, Better Call Saul has got an invitation. They're sitting right next. They got a seat for me anyways, right next to all the rest that I just mentioned. Mad Men, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, The Sopranos, The Wire. Those 5 for right now, I'll say, are my top 5. There's other ones that might poke through there here and there. That series, I appreciate the greatness of them, but I'll make a list later on. I'll get into this like a legit list and maybe have to try to rank these in some sort of order. It changes by the day. One day it will be dun, 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 dun. I like The Sopranos. It's the best show. Tony Soprano's the best motherfucking character. And then like the next moment it will be Breaking Bad. Then it will be then while I'm watching Mad Men, I'm like, Don Draper's the greatest character of all time, or this feels the most real. And then you watch Better Call Saul, it's the same, and I feel like it's most similar in all of that. It's a perfect hodgepodge of its own dynamic. It has its complete own definition and its own thing about it, but it also, I think, from the feelings I get when I watch it, as sometimes it's a reflection of life, especially with the Kim and Jimmy stuff and all the relationship issues, that the way they deal with it on Better Call Saul, I feel like deals with it in a more real way. I feel like I'm watching real life interactions and parallels to relationships I've had, maybe over dramatized for television, but that's what you do in that situation. Mad Men's similar in the way that the stakes aren't as big as The Sopranos or Breaking Bad or some other shows that you could even throw in there that I wouldn't put in that conversation. But it's still, once you get into it, you realize that the characters are incredibly fleshed out in that way, where I compare it to the two greatest character study pieces, or I'd say three. I'd include Deep Space Nine in there too for Star Trek people. But the two best character pieces, like really digging into characters for me, are Better Call Saul and Mad Men. And Mad Men got a lot of love at award season. But we look at some of the other great series that have existed. Some of my favorite series, a lot of them just aren't winners, but they're not nominated 46 freaking times. Better Call Saul has been nominated 46 times. I don't want to bury the lead of the anger that I'm feeling about this. The most angry I've ever been about it was when Michael McKean didn't win Best Supporting Actor. I forget who he was up against and that how all of that worked, but he is a Hollywood legend that really deserved that award for Chuck. I think Ray obviously deserves it, Bob deserves it, and it deserved a Best Show award, Best in Show award. And this isn't going to be an opportunity to just say, oh, screw Succession or screw Squid Game. I've seen a few episodes of Succession at this point because I'm trying to catch up to do recaps of it as suggested by a lot of Better Call Saul fans. Like, Succession's a good show. But it's going to have more opportunities. It's still on the air. And I know people say Better Call Saul has one more opportunity next year, but that's not the point. This was the year for the Better Call Saul celebration. This was the year for the party. This is the year to truly celebrate the show for what it is. Next year, maybe they'll give it to Ray or something like that, and they should, because, again, 0-46 is a embarrassment. It's a freaking embarrassment. And I'm going to get into my reasons why. And I might alienate some people here because not everyone likes the same bands or the same music, just like they don't like the same shows. But this reminds me of Led Zeppelin being too damn good. and doing something to piss off Rolling Stone. So whenever they made top rock band lists, Zeppelin would be conveniently off the list. I feel like Peter and Vince, maybe, did they not play the game enough? Are they too much like Matt and Trey from South Park? Like, are they their own thing so much in the way that they do everything that everyone is scared of them? That's my only thing here, because Vince and Peter, especially Peter, because this is so much his series, really deserves more recognition. This show, to me, screams of like award season bait. It's the way they really dig in and study their characters and go through it. Maybe I'm delusional. We'll enter this because I'm sure someone's going to pop into the live chat or the comment section at some point during all of this and go, you know what, Phil, you're just a biased dude. You know, you just like this show so much. I know how you felt about Breaking Bad. You started off this damn channel talking about Breaking Bad, and then you kept on to it, and you followed the prequel series all the way through. You talked about the series. You jumped around like a cheerleader about it. All that sort of stuff. So of course you love it. Of course you're going to think it got robbed or something. But it didn't get robbed. You know, it's not as good as you think. Fair enough, right? Fair enough. Even if I accept that, it's been nominated 46 times. You're telling me, even if you're not the biggest fan of Better Call Saul, you're telling me it doesn't deserve to win in 46 opportunities to win, 25 big awards, not once in the entire run of the entire series, Ray Seahorn deserved to win Best Supporting Actress? Nowhere in any place, any goddamn time, did Bob Odenkirk deserve to win a Best Actor award. No way did the editing on this series deserve a win. And again, this isn't to the people that didn't like the end of the series. I'm not talking about the last season. I'm not even necessarily just talking about the other night. We shouldn't have been in the position that we were in the other night because we're going now 0-46. Like, that's some shit. That's some serious shit. That stinks of being shut out. Because if you go 0-5, you go 0-6, any other 0 and something But when you start getting into the 0 and 30s, 0 and 40s, it's not as, oh, it's just, there's better shows out there. No, it's not that. Not every time. 46 opportunities. We're not going to go through every one of these 46 opportunities. Or let me just focus on the 25. The 25 times that a main actor has been, or the show has been nominated for Best Show. Best in Show. You're telling me none of those 25 times has the show deserved to win. And again, this whole podcast, this whole rant I'm going to go on today is going to smell like very, very, very sour grapes. It's okay. It's fine. I mean, I could sit here and talk about the greatness of the series, but literally I have the season finale podcast. I talked for 5.5 hours about how awesome this series was by myself and got drunk. It's awesome, guys. I love it. And there's also some more like cogent conversations that I've had. Well, the first 2 hours of that are pretty, I'm actually making sense. But right now, it's not even about that. Even if you're not the biggest fan of the series, you're not gonna deny that something's going on. Peter or Vince pissed in someone's coffee cup. There's some blocking out here going on. They didn't pay their dues or something, or they didn't grease the right palms. They're not going through the hullabaloo of celebrating it, of presenting the right stuff, or whatever. Something's fucked here. Something stinks. Worse than my sour grapes. Because yeah, that's the thing. I'm sour. I'm salty. I'm pissed off. But but it's ridiculous. It's too much. It's too much. I'm not gonna say, even though I think it's been the greatest show on television for the last, it's been a long time. Because on the 6 seasons it was on, I feel like it was the best show on television for me all 6 years. But I would say, unarguably, at least 3 of those 6 years, it was the greatest show on television. People can throw shit at me and go, oh, the Crown was really good. Is that what won? The Crown? Did the Crown kick its ass all those years? And then this past year, was Squid Game that won? Squid Game is great. Well put together series. Is it the point now that they don't want to give it to any more network television series because everything's been migrated over to the streaming platforms? And to me, that is more of a credit to the series that Better Call Saul has been able to maintain such a high quality level to be in the competition with these HBO and these Netflix, these Amazon, these Hulu. I don't think a Hulu series was nominated, but Handmaid's Tale. But like all these, yeah, it's like The Crown, Handmaid's Tale, and now Squid Game. Like I think there was probably some other series that beat them too. And the Game of Thrones beat them one year. In the final 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. Did season 7 or season 8 of Game of Thrones beat them for the best series of the year one of these years? Like, seriously, like shit like that's happening. And okay, and even if you accept all of that, like, oh, the Game of Thrones they deserved it for the early seasons. They got it in the late seasons. Better Call Saul deserved it this time. Not when they have like I think it's the last 2 episodes can be eligible next cycle or something. I don't even think it's the whole second half of the season. I think it's the last few episodes. Someone who knows more about that stuff can jump in the comments or jump in the live chat. And I know we got the live chat with me today. I'm going to get to you. We also have a voicemail that I'm going to play in a second. Curious of some of your thoughts. Sorry about the beginning. Big little rants here. My little rant here. But seriously, it's pissing me off. I wanted to do a lovely Better Call Saul stream where I looked back and we were a month after it, or a month and a day after the series finale. And I'm going to talk about this for a second here. It's amazing to me that we're a month and a day past when the series ended. And it's still, I feel like people are so passionate to want to talk about this series. I've said this in a few comments, so I might be repeating myself for what I've said before. But this reminds me of I'll do the greatest band in the world situation. We just all watched the greatest band in the world play some of their new material too, but they closed out the show, jammed it out, rocked the house, came out, gave us 2 encores, and then left the stage. We're all still in the stadium screaming more, more, more. That's exactly how you should leave your audience. Even if there's never anything again ever in this universe that gives us more content for Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad stuff. Which, if you held my hand to the fire, I don't think is going to be the case. I think at minimum, we're going to get some webisodes or something. I'm going to try to will this into existence. I want to get some Saul in prison webisodes, like those mini things that they did, that they've done before. Both series have done those kind of little mini webisode stuff. So it's not completely out of the realm of possibility. But even if we don't, I don't know. I don't freaking know. I'm pissed off. I need to, but yeah, we're all still in this stadium cheering for more. And again, that's how you should leave your audience. I don't think you should leave your audience like The Walking Dead is leaving your audience. Regardless of how you think about this show and whether you think it's a pile of dog crap right now or not, whether you're right and think it's a pile of dog crap or you're wrong and think it's okay to, no, I'm kidding. But like what you want. But seriously, the way that they're ending is by like hammering it into the ground, giving you endless amounts of sequel series that just completely retread the same ground over and over again, to the point where ending the series and then before the series even ends so you can take a breath, they've already announced 3 or 4 different sequel series that tell you that certain characters aren't going to die in the final season because they're in sequel series. To take away in the drama, and they just happen to be the only characters people actually give a shit about. So, except for the one that left one of the series, so I wonder if she's going to be okay. Spoiler alert, I guess. Basically, the 3 or 4 main people that we would actually care about on that series, having watched it so long, we know are in future series, so they've completely eliminated any feelings in it. Better Call Saul did the opposite. They left you with so many feelings. At a conclusive point, 72 years, yeah, we want to know what happens with Kim, but ultimately he's in prison. I mean, we can go within that universe and see what he's doing within that universe, but for the rest of, I mean the universe of prison. And I'm going to talk about Oz in a minute here, but we could see Saul and Oz. We could go through all of that. But really the story of him being out and about, his battle, and the sequel of Breaking Bad where he's on the run, that all ended. But it still ended with a way where we're all just like, more. But anyways, let me play this voicemail here. And as I mentioned before, you can call on in. I know this is 2:00 on a Friday Eastern time. Probably not going to have the biggest audience here today, but I appreciate anyone that happens to be checking this out live or anyone that checks this out after the fact. Please, if you can, like this and share it out. Feel free to share it in if you're a member of any Better Call Saul groups right now. I know people are excited to rant about this. There's so many posts in every Better Call Saul forum right now, people losing their freaking minds. I feel like I'm here for it. I enjoy hearing this rage. It's fun rage. It's a little bit like we're all bitching about it, but that's okay. That's what's fun in this kind of situation, to group bitch about something. But realistically speaking, I feel like a lot of people are being awoke to something I've been talking about for years now. Since the beginning, when this show when everyone just like, don't worry, it's going to get it at the end. It's going to get it at the end. And just kind of pushing it off and being, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. And it's not. Realistically speaking, again, before someone else says this, realistically speaking, I don't really care about awards. Personally, I know what the best shows are. The only awards I care about are the ones that I haven't done it since 2019, but maybe I'll do it 2018. But maybe I'll do it again this year when I do my awards, the Issues Program Awards for the best shows of the year. Those are the only awards I give two smokes about. But realistically, what I care about, and I said it during the season too, I care about the people from this show that aren't working on this show anymore, that are going into a very clustered, easy to get caught up in that sort of stuff world of Hollywood. Someone like Ray, who is an amazing, amazing actor. I would say she's one of the best actors working that just before this I'd never really heard of. I want to see her get lots of work. If she wins awards, she's going to get more work. It's just going to happen. I mean, you look at some of the other actresses that have won those awards and it's just built their careers off getting those things. That's where it's important to the production staff, to all the creators. Having those things on your resume leads to more jobs. Giving someone like Nacho or Lalo, and I'm just calling them by their characters' names so I don't Michael Mondo and so golly, it's just because I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to Tony Dalton. Or Patrick Sabian. Like, these guys, if they win awards through this show, even best in show, it leads to more jobs in their careers moving forward. So to them, it matters. It doesn't really matter to me, and I don't think it quantifies truly any of these freaking stupid award shows. They're fart-smelling sessions. That's really what they are. But realistically, they're in a profession where fart-smelling matters to get them more jobs. So the fact that they keep getting shut out here isn't going to necessarily make people turn away from them or affect their careers in the sense of anything negative is going to happen. Being nominated is huge. That also looks exceptionally awesome on your resume and helps you get more jobs. But the public attention that you get from those wins really do help project actors into different echelons. And I would have liked to see that for Ray. Bob's going to be fine. Bob is a Hollywood legend before Better Call Saul from a comedic standpoint. And this is just added to this and his success in the movie Nobody and some other stuff. I think Bob will be fine and will continue to get work. No problem. It's all the other amazing actors and people working on this show that I'm not going to say worry about, but that I really do hope get some amazing opportunities for some amazing parts because they have some of the best skill set and some of the lessons in things that they've interacted and learned on set working in this environment deserves it. So so I want to get all that out of the way, or I should have said that first. I've already bitched for 20 minutes, but I want to get that all out of the way before I keep hammering this down of how pissed off I am about this. I want to make it clear that I don't really take the award shows too serious. It's a good shit to watch it. But the actors take it serious. The show creators, in the sense, take it serious in the way of it is the recognition and it matters within their community. And within their community, it sucks. It's a slight. It's war. It's war, Peacock. Anyways, here's our voicemail.
Yeah, hey, it's Mike Erminsrode here. In my time off since the show's over, I've been learning voodoo magic, so there's no half measures with my plan to bring back Salamanca from the grave and send him over to the Emmys and tell them that the Emmys were responsible for all the bad stuff. Anyway, I hope that works. I've been busy. Oh.
Thank you, Mike. And Jonathan Banks is the other guy. Like, he's gonna do fine when he wants to work. Let's go into the live chat and hear what some of you guys think. Jay, great to see Jay. It is such bullshit. Luke, great to see you. Bodega Buds, the acting Better Call Saul was better than Breaking Bad. Bodega Buds, I would agree with that. I'm not going to say better or worse show. That's a video for a different day. I'm not even going to say worse. I've said it a million times. I'll say it again here. Both excellent meals created by the same unbelievable chef. One is a little bit more savory. One's a little bit more spicy. And it depends what your taste is on that particular day, which one is the better series. They're equals. That being said, I do think I wouldn't even say the acting. I'm gonna take back what I said. I'm not gonna say the acting is. I think the chances that Peter and Vince give them to break down character is they're given more depth on Better Call Saul because it's more of a character study, where Breaking Bad is more of a tight narrative story with character study elements. And Better Call Saul's whole identity is that deep, dark character shit. So it gives actors the opportunity to make choices that they don't get in other shows, except for something like 6 Feet Under or Mad Men, where you can really go introspective. And I know there's other shows too that do it. Deep Space Nine is another one I've mentioned a couple times tonight already, that really give the characters a chance to do some work And I'm not saying Breaking Bad doesn't, but Breaking Bad plays with archetypes a lot more than Better Call Saul does. In villains and lots of different things. Holy shit. We got a super chat donation. And it's now 2020. The pandemic is rampant. To prevent the spread of the imprisoned Jimmy McGill is released early. Could that revive the Better Call Saul Breaking Bad world? Maybe. That is an excellent suggestion, and I like it. Thank you so much for the super chat donation. We're spinning the wheel today. It's early enough in the day I can make lots of noise. Thank you so much for that super chat donation. And I don't know how they would do it. I've often joked that maybe Holly White could go hunting for her father's money at one point, and then stops to visit Jesse or visit Saul in prison or something. We got everyone drink. I know it's 2:00 during the day wherever you are, or if you're in the Boston area like me, toast your drink, whatever you're drinking. Let's toast to this super chat donator. And with that, I'll also do some drum nonsense for you. Here we go. Whoops. Thank you so much. Sorry for the loud drums if they were loud and obnoxious, but I feel like I got to give something special to all of you super chatters. And as I mentioned before, this whole podcast is huge thanks to the amazing Mummy Ray, who gave us an amazing super chat donation during one of our last live streams and suggested and requested a Better Call Saul live stream. So here I am. We got Sword in Stone. Happy Friday, motherfucking chat. I'm finally here. Can't stay long. Sword Stone, this isn't going to be the longest live stream. Probably only going to be about an hour anyway. So I do appreciate everyone that's checking this out. I'm glad I had time to do this today. My day got a little bit more hectic as I initially planned to do this at 7:30 tonight, which would have been probably a better time to do it on a Friday evening. But, you know, life happens. But I did not want to miss coming out here and being able to rant and rave. And I mean, that's the subject. I got my rant out here. The Weiner line's open, 781-990-8509. Calling in. Rant your heart's content if you have a feeling about this. And also, if you're watching this on a later date and you couldn't join us live, please feel free to leave me a voicemail rant about Better Call Saul or make any request on this video, commenting on the video for future Better Call Saul content. I was just talking to the Vivid Kiwi yesterday. We're going to try to do some fun stuff, whether it be with some new shows, Succession. I know, not Succession. I was just looking in the chat and saw Succession. Why can't I think of this? Why can't I think of the show? But also I saw that him mention The Boys. We'll definitely be talking about the Boys and Severance. We're going to definitely talk about some Severance when that show comes up. And if I do another Better Call Saul stream, I'm definitely going to invite the Kiwi on as well. So if you're a fan of the Kiwi, him and I will be doing some Better Call Saul and some other show content as well coming up soon. Definitely no spoilers here. Richie says they got snubbed because Better Call Saul was niche audience. Never watched Succession, so I cannot judge the quality of the performances. Having just started to watch Succession, I will say that Succession is good, but it also feels niche. It doesn't feel like something that is going to be. I think everything is converting into niche entertainment. I think Better Call Saul gathered steam as it went and brought more people in as time went on. And I think the Emmys have always rewarded series that maybe aren't the most popular series or the best series, but are the most niche, interesting like that. And I feel like Better Call Saul, even though I agree with you, still own 46 is a disgusting number. But great. Succession was fine, but Better Call Saul was miles above it in almost every way. Again, having watched a couple of episodes, it's good. And and I'm going to watch it and I'm going to recap it. I don't want to take any opportunity here to bash the show because I feel like I'm enjoying it from the first 4 or 5 episodes of Succession that I've watched so far. But it's, and I see where people that like it could like Saul too, but Saul is just more of a well-oiled machine, especially the filmmaking. The acting is comparable. There's great acting going on in that show. But the way the filmmaking is, I think, is what sets Better Call Saul apart from so many other shows. The precision of the way this writer's team works and the editing on the show and the music integration and the film stock of how everything looks, the cinematography, just duh. Like, all of that is what separates acting. There's a lot of shows that have some amazing acting going on. And I'm not going to cut hairs about who's, because acting is very individualistic in what you like and what you don't like. But Succession is fine. The acting in that show was great. It was great. I have no problem with the acting. I have no problem with actors from Succession winning awards. I just think Bob and Ray deserve their freaking due. 0-25 with the big awards. 0-46 with all awards being nominated. You're telling me even the sternest people that are like, Better Call Saul is overrated, it doesn't deserve to win 1 out of 46 awards it's nominated for? Were they waiting for 50? I guess they're waiting for 50. The Academy is saying that Better Call Saul it deserves to win 1 out of every 50 awards it's nominated for. So, yep, maybe I'm full of shit. I mean, I am full of shit, but maybe I'm full of shit for different reasons. Let's continue with the live chat. The McKeon thing pissed me off the most, Joseph. I think I even went live back then from my phone watching it, pissed off. I think the most pissed I've been from this show, even more than now. Now I'm recreating some of my anger from before, but the most pissed I've ever been about this show losing was with Michael McKeon losing. I just felt like he deserved so much more. And his performance in Chuck in those final episodes that he was in, especially for the episode Chicanery, I think is some of the best acting I've ever seen in anything ever. So I really do. It really does kind of bother me that he's the biggest one for me. Yeah, just glad The Walking Dead got no nominations. At least Better Call Saul gets one more shot next year. I agree. At least it gets one more shot next year. But the problem is when you keep doing that, when you keep waiting to say, we'll give them their due next time, shows come out of nowhere that you have to celebrate too. I'm not... Okay, so I was wrong earlier. I think I said Succession. Squid Game won the best. Succession won best show. The actor for Squid Game won best actor over Bob. And again, I watched Squid Game. He had an excellent performance as an actor. I felt that. He played so many different emotions. I'm not going to use this thing as an opportunity to bash some of the winners because I feel like this, unlike other years where there's shows that I'm bored by or something, Succession's a good show. And Squid Game, the guy that acted in Squid Game is great. I haven't even got to the Ray one yet. Because Julia Gardner, is that her name? The actress from Ozark beat her. Yeah, I mean, Ruth had I'm a big Ozark fan except for the second half of the final season. I get it, but I think she deserved it earlier too. And as much as I love her performance, Julia Gardner, I think she's going to have so many more opportunities in her life moving forward. And I think they're both excellent actresses, but I feel the character of Kim was more nuanced in the final seasons. That being said, you're going to have to fucking kill me. Like, that performance by her in that moment was very strong. And if Ray had won it for season 5, which was her biggest, I think 4 and 5 were the seasons that, yeah, she deserves to win it in 6. She should have won this award. But I think Ray got most screwed in season 5. I feel like that was her, even though she did some amazing work in 6 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, like all throughout, I feel like 5 was her magnum opus season where she was unreal, seeing that transformation to slipping Kimmy. And I think season 6 is probably her second best season, and then 3, and then goes down for 2 and 1. But I do think all of her performances are amazing. I don't want to say, I'll bitch about the end of Ozark. The final note of Ozark sucked. And I feel like Ruth's final choices sucked. No spoilers here. I'm not going to say what happened. But I didn't like it. But her acting performance was excellent. I'm not gonna poo-poo Ruth, but and Kim deserved it. Same with the guy from Squid Game. He great performance. I don't think, and I don't want to put it into this context, but to say that this is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass. No, this is what happens when you put things off. When you go, oh, they'll get it next year. Because things come up. You can't not make notice of how big freaking Squid Game was. So I get wanting to give someone an award for it. Ozark in that final season sucked in the second half for me anyways, but the first half of that final season was great. And Ruth, the actress Julia, I don't know if it's Julie or Julia. Ruth gave an excellent performance. That scream, that freak out, she deserved to be recognized. But Ray deserved it first. See the fucking game we're playing instead of picking who's the best that particular year? Because we don't do that. I think they were cleaning up their mess with Ray with somebody else, like giving it to what's her name from The Crown for the 7,000th time. Anyways. But I do hope it gets one more year. Better Call Saul final season was a masterpiece, perhaps the best final season of any show ever had. And that's why it deserved best show. As much as Succession, what I've seen is great, and I assume it just keeps getting better every season, so that's the most recent season of Succession. I'm still in season 1. Better Call Saul, and what it did, people talking about mainstream stuff in the audience, and what I was saying about Squid Game. Being someone that talks about this shit, I have a very small channel here. And I even talking about popular shows, I'll, get some people watching, get others watching, get certain views. Right now I'm lucky enough at 2:00 in the afternoon having 35 people watching me live, talking about this show Better Call Saul. If I was talking about Cobra Kai last week, I had, 15 to 20 people watching. But just to show the end, when I talk about House of the Dragon every week, I have about 100 people watching. But Better Call Saul kept building up every week. But to the final week, I had 1,000 people watching us all live, talking about this. And that's not because of me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Someone's like, oh, no, you're awesome. No, I'm not awesome. I suck. But no, that's not what I'm talking about. My point is how popular from an interest standpoint, Better Call Saul got, and how a show that was almost, trust me, I talked about it in season 1. No one was talking about this show. No one cared. Everyone was like, whatever. I talked about this show season 1, season 2, season 3. Barely moved a needle. Season 6 galvanized television audiences in a way I haven't seen in a long time. A long freaking time. Since at least the final season of Game of Thrones, which did something similar where everywhere you go, someone's talking about it. It got big to that point. Obviously, that shit the bed. Better Call Saul did not shit the bed. And before that show, the last series I remembered before that doing it was Breaking Bad or Lost or The Sopranos. I mean, there's other shows that Walking Dead for a minute had that sort of audience and that sort of focus on the public eye. So there were so many shows that have had it. Better Call Saul grasped it. I feel like Squid Game had it for a minute this year too, so I appreciate that. Succession, not a lot of people, except for the fans of it, are talking about it quite yet. I know it gets a lot of attention where videos are made and people are like talking about the series, but it seems like it's more something that doesn't have that mainstream connection yet. Still might, but Better Call Saul really captured something. Captured people's energy talking about its shows again in a way that, again, I feel like hasn't happened in 2 or 3 years. I'm a little out of touch with my time. But anyways, let me continue here. Completely worthless Levick. Hollywood is full of out of touch. Hollywood is full of out of touch elitist snobs, as Bloody Talker says. Not surprised. I will add fart smelling in there. Oh God, I wish I could smell my farts all the time. I don't care much about award shows. It wouldn't have mattered for me if Saul got 30 Emmys. Nice for the makers, though. Great for the talent. As a viewer, I don't give a shit. Yeah, and that's what I was saying before. I don't really give a shit as a viewer, but I do care for the show creators that have been putting their heart and soul in this production and deserve recognition for their work, because this show deserves, again, 0-40 fucking 6. I'm going to say that all night. This is like Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl. Sorry, Bills fans. It's worse. It's worse. God. The Vikings had sex with the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl. Jesus. The fact that thank you, Joseph. So it was. I mentioned that earlier. I'm a huge A Song of Ice and Fire fan. I'm not going to use this as an opportunity to talk about my love for Game of Thrones. That being said, the fact that Game of Thrones in the final seasons won awards instead of Better Call Saul shows exactly what the fuck's wrong with the whole award system. And that whole, we'll make up for it next year. Because when Game of Thrones was great, they were like, no, we're going to give it to someone else because they were deserving years and years before. We got to give it to, I don't know, I'm just picking another show. How I Met Your Mother in season 7. I don't know if that one. I'm just picking some other show that's past its prime that they give it to. Anyways, I was happy Lord of the Rings won 11 Oscars. Sure, it deserved it. But a year or two before that, Twin Towers lost to Chicago. How can they take it seriously after that fucking joke? And if you look at some of those big stuff, if we get into it, I should do a whole video on this, specifically on this subject, like biggest snubs in Oscar and Academy Award history, because there's a bunch, especially if you look at some of the like best movie awards that won and the movies that get talked about over the course of time and that actually beat them in awards, like Rudy, like something else winning instead of Citizen Kane or something like that. Like it's always something like that. But anyways, let's continue. Breaking Bad stuff might not return as a tribute, but it would be many other equally genius shows. They'll have to do an El Camino style show post Kim. I do think we're going to get something. I think the Kim one makes the most sense for a future series, especially if Ray can't get enough great work. I could see Peter and Vince wanting to create a show for her. Knowing how awesome she is and how much more stuff she has to give as an actress. And again, I hope she does more. I know she has a show now. I haven't watched it yet, but I want to see her get some meaty like roles. Lead actress, Hollywood blockbuster kind of movies. Like big move. Again, this isn't about film creators. The Coen brothers still making movies. Like the next big Coen brothers movie or a Quentin Tarantino movie, or I think she'd be amazing in a Quentin Tarantino movie with the fast dialogue stuff. I think she could pull that shit off extremely well. Or Scorsese or something. I know Scorsese's heading towards the end of his career, but I hope not. I hope he makes movies for 20 more years. But I'm just saying, like, I want to see her work with some great filmmakers and use her talents to their fullest, not just see her get cast as a walk-on role on a sitcom or something, which I think she could do too. I think she could be very funny, or in like playing off character or something. I want to see her do some big stuff. And I hope she does. Same with Tony Dalton. Same with Mondo there. With Mondo. Ian Throne in the live chat. It was nominated, Luke. It's been nominated for 46 different awards, including this past year. And it has lost every single one of the 46. What do you think about that, Weird Al? I think it's stupid. Thank you, Weird Al. Thank you, Father. Ray deserved it the most. I think she's the best thing to come out of the show. I agree. I think Tony Dalton has had a good bit role career, and I hope this leads to some bigger parts for him. But I think he's an amazing discovery, and the same with Nacho. I think they're both incredible. Patrick Fabian. I think I might have said that earlier too. He was really good when I saw him on a season of 24 not too long ago. He has a good walk on the character role, and I think he'll always be that kind of character role. I think this will be his most interesting part, but you're going to see him pop on more things as like walk-ons, and he's going to use this as a good opportunity. But I think Nacho and Lalo are going to get some good work, but I do agree that the greatest discovery from this series, we knew Vince and Peter were the best around. We knew that those guys were the best around. And did I miss the super chat? No, I think I'm sorry. I thought I missed a super chat for a second. So I'm gonna spin the wheel again. So if I missed your super chat, I'm sorry. But she's the most deserving, 100%. Let's continue. People will get mad at this, but they were snubbed. I mean, we'll get into that at a later date. I'm going to keep this to silliness here and not get too into that stuff. But I don't necessarily think that's the case. Again, as I mentioned, I have no doubt that the creators of The Sopranos regretted not utilizing James Gandolfini when they still had the chance. I think Vince will want to revisit. I agree. I think as much as the ending of Better Call Saul The Sopranos set it up so for those Tony deathers, I think it was David Chase setting himself in both situations, like wanting to have his cake and eat it too. Set up an ending that could be viewed as a concluding point where Tony dies, or set up a point where you could say Tony doesn't die, and that's just an end point because there's going to be future Soprano stuff. I think he always thought he had a chance, had time to do that. And I think if he thought for a second James Gandolfini wouldn't have been around, he would have pushed to do something. I think you would have seen, instead of seeing The Many Saints, you would have seen the Dickie story and the Young Tony story paralleled with a Trial of Tony Soprano movie, with James Gandolfini, with dealing with a lot of stuff, dealing with some flashbacks from the actual series so they could bring back some of the old actors, mixed with some even further back stuff. I think it would have been a much, much, much better movie. But I think, so I agree with that to a certain extent. Boy, I'd love to do another spinoff of Breaking Bad. Ray's treachery killed Professor Lasky. No Emmy for her. Any YouTube video with a shout out to Clue is a good video. Thank you. I'm realizing how long ago the chat is. And let me do this. Sorry. Sorry, buddy. Knowing Vince and Peter, when the next show comes out, will be begging for more of that universe instead of Breaking Bad. I think that's a big case too. I think I'm very excited to see whatever these guys work on next, and I'm hoping to go all in on whatever series that is. When Vince's new series comes out, I'm going 100% all in on it, and I'm hoping it's great, and I'm not even like that worried at all. I know it's going to be great. Sorry, I missed that. Jeffrey Townsend, it's now 2:20. Thank you so much for that super chat donation. I want Jonathan Banks in House of the Dragon. He wouldn't be really awesome. I could see him playing certain characters in House of the Dragon. I would love to see Jonathan Banks. I would love to see Vince do fantasy at some point in time. I think he would kick ass. Give Vince and Peter dunk an egg or something like that. Give them something. Give them some interesting story. I'd love to see them work on that. Or give them something with a little bit more freedom so they could write the scripts too. Anyways, best supporting actor has to go to Lyle. It really does. Let's talk about this. Hey, we got Loner Incognito in the live motherfucking chat. Great to see you, my friend. Great to see Iron Throne. We got Walter. Does Walter want to have sex with me? And let's continue here. Excuse me for 1 second. Oh yes, let's go, Kim. Oh, hi Kim. How are you? How are you, Miss Wexler? Yeah, Miss Wexler. Let's see. Sorry, I'm taking some. I gotta take a picture. I can take a picture. It will last longer. Okay, so water. I want to have sex. I feel like that's the thing I missed the most from this series. I like Saul remaining in prison. His ending was good because he faced consequences, but there wasn't anything to suggest he wouldn't slip back into his old habits if he was released. And I would also add, as this was my original prediction for the ending, that there's nothing to say. Not that he would take a deal and then go back to Kim. I just thought he would end up in prison like this. That he's not going to forget just when he gets out, that he's not just going to not be able to not be Saul in prison, since everyone looks at him like a hero right now. So he's just going to become Red from Orange is the New Black, like totally control things. I think Saul remaining in prison, his ending was good because he faced consequences, but there wasn't anything to suggest. Yeah, I agree with that. Life happens, and yet Phil isn't a trooper. I have to. I had to come out here today. It needed to happen and needed to do it. What about Umbrella Academy? Will I do that show? I haven't watched it yet, but I hear great things. I will try to catch up on that and maybe do something on it at some point. Even if it's a show I'm not going to watch, I'm totally down to, say, watch a pilot and do like a pilot review. If it's not a show what I mean is not a show I'm not going to watch, not a show I'm going to talk about episode to episode. I'll watch anything and talk about anything. So feel free to always, as I mentioned, one of the things on the super chat wheel is request anything you want, within, reason to a certain extent. People like, watch Faces of Death, Volume 7 and report on that. No, I don't know. I'll never watch that again. But there's ways to request. Leave requests in the comment section of the video. Always will read them and take them into account. But I'm always down to watch something. Obviously, we have channel memberships, and one of our tiers gives you requests as well too. So there is ways to make me talk about something, but if you make a suggestion, most likely I will do something on it at some point. To ask the wonderful Miss Timo about my black sales. I still haven't done that, and she requested that 17 years ago. But for the most part, I'm pretty good with it. Or Santovia Major, that's still waiting for her data and lore video. So there's a couple people I've been shitty. Or Al, Red Sox fan, waiting for a Slapshot review. I think those are the big three that I've dropped the ball on, and two of those I know are definitely happening. Timo, I love you, but I will try to binge watch Black Sails at some point. Anyways, let's continue. Yeah, Ray should have won. Plan and Execution was the best episode. I feel like that's one of the. I agree. I think Plan and Execution, Fun and Games, that was the peak of That's like peak television. That's some of the best television I've ever seen in my life. It's amazing. Mad Men actors lost out at the Emmys often to Aaron Paul. I know Mad Men won Best Show a bunch of times in a row before Breaking Bad started to take over. Is anyone enjoying City on the Hill? I haven't watched that yet. How have they never won one? It's ridiculous. Hey, Phil, love you here and other channels. I'll be back for House of the Dragon. JC Wilder, great to see you, and so excited to be talking Better Call Saul again, even for this reason, even just to come out here for an hour or so and rant about this silliness. It's awesome to be out here, and this won't be the last time I'm out here talking about Better Call Saul. I might do a rewatch, talk about seasons again, come up with some fun, interesting videos, comparison, contrast with Breaking Bad, that kind of stuff, character profile podcasts where we just talk about the whole arc of certain characters. I'm definitely down to do more Better Call Saul content. So as long as you guys are interested in this, as again, we're creeping up. I feel like if I did this tonight, we'd have a lot more people. But I'm still seeing that, still got 40 plus people right now watching on a Friday afternoon for a show that's been off the air for a month. That show on a smaller channel here on YouTube. So that shows the excitement that people still have to talk about this show and bitch about them losing out on the Emmy. Let me not go 2 ways for Tuesday here. 2 ways for Tuesday. Okay. Let me see. I got to be careful here, but let me see.
Hey, it's Jay from the live motherfucking chat. Fucking Emmys. Oh, by the way, sorry, I'm going to swear a little bit here. So, anybody with those virgin ears?
Listen, motherfucking, excuse your fucking language here. You know, what the fuck, you motherfucker? Like, you better fucking watch it. The Issues fucking program is a no fuck word situation, dude. We don't like fucking shit said here, you motherfucker. So here you go. I'll let you say what you want to say, but the fuck.
Hey, it's Jay from the live motherfucking chat. Fucking Emmys. Oh, by the way, sorry, I'm going to swear a little bit here. So, anybody with those virgin ears, better cover them now, because Jay's going to drop some F-bombs. Listen, the fucking Emmys are all for 46 for a fucking great TV show over 6 fucking goddamn years. They gave an Emmy to fucking Lizzo! Lizzo! Are you fucking kidding me? Lizzo! Lizzo won! Better Call Saul over 46! What the fuck? Anyway, sorry for swearing.
No. And again, I don't. It's hard to not do what we're doing right here and say this show, this person won, this person lost, this person. But let's not forget who the real villains here in this situation are. It's the fucking Academy. It's whoever's voting on this dog shit are the ones that deserve to get eating it. So, and I mean, it's like no one watches their shit anymore since rabbit ears don't work. I'm not buying NBC's fucking stream to watch this crap. So I'm like just watching the responses of it anymore. Like no one gives a shit. You're destroying your own credibility by having a show like Better Call Saul. And yes, I'm in an echo chamber right here bitching about this. I don't fucking care, right? You're destroying any credibility in your whole goddamn thing by goddamn motherfucking 0-46. Oh, excuse me. I had some dental work, so I still sound a little bit like Barbara Walters. I have a temporary in until I get my crown next week. Okay, or in a couple weeks. Okay. Mad Men at the same time. Phil, giving you love. Better Call Saul should have won an Emmy for season 3, season 5, and especially season 6. I think absolutely. I would say I don't want to take the attention away from season 6 and the snub that they just got, because that's what's inspiring me to come out here. That's inspiring a lot of people that will be checking this out and commenting on it. And I don't want to reopen old wounds, but seriously, you're 100% right. Blacked Marion, I cannot say it enough. Season 3, season 5, season 3 and 5, season 4 was great. Season 2 was great. Season 2 and 4 were excellent. Season 1 was really, really, really good and had some excellent episodes. I just think it was a little, you could tell they were still figuring out what kind of show they were doing. I feel like everything from the 5-0 episode forward on Better Call Saul is excellent. I think everything before 5-0 is still like great and good at times, but still figuring itself out. Season 3, they really hit their peak. And then it peaked with the loss of a certain character and a certain storyline. And then season 4 was building up the newer characters or the newer dynamics that they had. Excuse me. And then it just went back to season 4. And then season 5 was just another peak. And that's the season I think that Ray deserved it the most. As much as she is good on this season, I feel like season 5, she deserved it the most. Excuse me for 1 second. I have to take a quick musical interlude to move a dog that is in a place he shouldn't be. So the best way to do that is might as well play. Let's recap here. Okay, sorry about that. I can see the dog creeping up onto my pillow. No. You're gonna lie in my bed, dog. You stay at the foot of the damn bed, motherfucker. Jeffrey Townsend says I'm full of shit too. I probably ate 3 burritos for lunch. You know. got a little burrito ass going on there. Hello, Breaking Bad beat Game of Thrones. Breaking Bad beat Game of Thrones, Mad Men, House of Cards each year. I think Mad Men won the first couple of years of Breaking Bad, but once Breaking Bad started to win, it carried it through. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe they feel like, and again, this goes to the Zeppelin thing. A band's too good. A show is too good. And they're like, we already gave you all the awards for Breaking Bad. This is just, we can't do this. You can't give the award to the same person every year, but they used to do that. Or where David Hyde Pierce would win every year, or somebody to the point where he just had to go, I'm not even running anymore here. I got to give somebody else a shot. So it's not, I don't know. So I don't know why they have a hair across their ass for Better Call Saul. I don't know if Vince pissed them off or something. Hot D. Earmuffs for your voicemail. Even Skylar won twice. Let's be honest, Phil. It's not uppity enough for the Emmys. I mean, I think it could be. I mean, I think it sniffs its own fart. I don't think Vince and Peter are playing any Hollywood games. They're not playing reindeer games. They're not sniffing farts. They're not going to, rub people's assholes and shit like that. That's where I'm comparing them to Matt and Trey, where they're just like, we know we're fucking the bomb. We don't need to impress anybody. And I think there is some element of them, like everyone knows they're the best. So how can there be a competition? It's every year that Jordan played, did he win the MVP every fucking year? Like, or whatever. I'm saying, like, didn't like Steve Nash beat Shaq a couple of years for MVP when Shaq was clearly the best player in the NBA, but they didn't want to give it to Shaq every year. Like, and they would do that sometimes, or I don't know. People are like, don't talk basketball. You know what the fuck you're talking about. But whatever. Odenkirk is underrated in general, but he still keeps getting work because I don't think he's underrated within his own community. I think everyone loves Bob Odenkirk. I mean. And you could say that, everyone in Hollywood says they love each other. But look how many shows Bob Odenkirk has had, even just walk-on roles, and every single one of them are reoccurring. Like every sitcom in the world, every comic. Like Bob Odenkirk shows up everywhere. I mean, the whole reason Mike exists is because Bob Odenkirk wanted to continue his run on How I Met Your Mother. So they had to create Mike because he couldn't come back for Saul. So they created Mike on Breaking Bad. Stiff competition, but our thoughts don't matter. Do people even care about Squid Game anymore? No. I mean, but at the time it was huge, and I think it was a really good show. I think it deserved nomination. I don't think Squid Game actors and performances, the stunt work and the production design, all that sort of shit I would give to something like Squid Game. I thought that was amazing. Visually, it was incredible, and I think all the acting performances are Emmy nominated worthy for that guy. I think he absolutely deserved it. But was he a better actor this season on his show than Bob Odenkirk was? No, he wasn't. Straight up, he wasn't. He wasn't a better actor than Bob Odenkirk. That show had a little bit more sexiness to it in the popularity, and they're trying to get as much eyes attention on it as possible. Or maybe they knew that the Better Call Saul community would lose their living shit like this, and more people are talking about the Emmys right now than they would anyway. If it just won, I'd be out here today, we'd be just talking about Better Call Saul and be like, they finally won. I would mention it in passing. But now I'm friggin' for an hour, I'll probably be on another half an hour, but I'm saying for like an hour right now on a Friday afternoon, I am talking about the Emmys, something I wouldn't talk about. So maybe they're just winning. Maybe they're trolling just to get baiting us here. And I took the bait. I was just going to quote Clue again. The something does while the master baits. The servant moves. The servant stares while the master baits. Or so, what is it? It's another Mrs. White from Clue joke. I think I've quoted two Mrs. White jokes. When's the next season of Squid Game? I'm guessing. I think they're filming it right now, or they finished filming it. I'm gonna guess it's gonna come out in January, February. But don't quote me on that. Ozark M was no, it wasn't. I think Ozark, and again, I won't talk about it. Please be careful in the comment section in the chat if you're strolling through there. That's why I don't have the chat on the screen right now, just in case I don't want to spoil something. Because I was talking about a bunch of shows, but I'll pop it up in here now. And thank you. I got some balls. A ball fell. A ball didn't fall in my glass right there. I got lots of balls in my glass. Anyways, yeah, it should be fun. Ray should have won. It's just no questions. 100% no questions, especially in previous seasons. And I would say this season as well. I got to put my dick away, Walter. I really do. After the first season of Westworld, I thought Westworld was going to be a shoo-in to win multiple awards, but that went downhill quickly. I thought a lot of things in that first season of Westworld, and again, I haven't watched the new season, so I can't speak to its quality. Some people that I really trust their opinions on things when it comes to their opinions on shows have watched it and told me, and so I trust their thoughts on it. But I will watch it at some point in time. I feel like Lost is another example, but of a show that had such a great, beautiful, and Heroes is another one, great, beautiful first season. And then even if the show had moments, Prison Break's another one, had moments after that hit strong points, because I think some of the shows I'm mentioning aren't all equal. I think some of them had other great seasons, other great moments. None of them ever reached the heights of those first seasons. Usually it's the other way around. If you create a show, historically, the greatest ones to me have the worst seasons are the first seasons. Not the worst, but you can tell the budgets are lower. The actors don't quite grasp their characters 100%. There's some balances that aren't quite off, especially in pilots. But I would say in general, season ones, I am more forgiving of season one things. Shows that have unbelievably great first seasons, I get nervous about sometimes because it's tough to bounce back and give you another great season. That's why I think Only Murders in the Building had a great first season. I haven't talked about it on this channel yet. It's past the point where it's really, prime to talk about it, but I am going to talk about it at some point with Anna and Tony. But I feel like the show really matched the second season. Not a lot of shows that are fun and great in the first season match a second season. Sometimes they have that sophomore slump and then bounce back in the third season. I thought that was, but then some shows get even better every season on until they reach their peak, and then it's diminishing returns. Show like Sons of Anarchy, I thought, kept getting better till season 4, season 5, and then it started to go downhill. 24, same things. First 4 or 5 seasons of that show were really good, but then started to go downhill as time went on. So it's interesting, the progressions of shows. So something like Squid Game, I'm worried about a second season. I hope it's as good as the first season, but I think half of what grasped people about that show was the surprise and the mystery of it. I think I didn't know what I was getting into, and seeing the elements of it, I think in the future seasons, it's more, is it just going to turn into sort of Hunger Games-y? But I don't know. We'll also see with Severance in season 2. I'm more excited about something like From in season 2 because I think it's set up more perfectly for future seasons in the way it goes. Something like Severance, I trust the creative team on it, but the first season was so great at building mysteries and giving us that point and had a perfect orchestration of that. If one element of that is altered a little bit, it could totally alter the attention and the feeling of it. That being said, the show could get better or it could get lost and go progressively like people, they just spin their wheels. But I trust Ben Stiller. So it's just interesting. And I hope in this year, I would have liked to see something like Severance get its respect instead of something like some of these older shows that were there for legendary purposes rather than the best shows this past year on television, which I think were Better Call Saul and Severance. I think those two were the best 2 shows on television that I watched anyways. I'll buy Succession, and I will put Squid Game as one of the most fun. So anyways, that's what you get when you you find a stranger in the Alps. Is this your homework, Larry? Is this your fucking homework? Micah McKeon should have won it absolutely for chicanery. Joseph, I love you, buddy. You're cracking me up in the live chat as always. Great ending, poor Saul. Ridiculous that Better Call Saul, especially Ray, didn't win. Screw the Emmys, so bogus. Oh my goodness. Hi, Phil. I'm missing. Oh, we got the Bader in the live chat. Great to see you. And that, again, I want to try to. I'm not going to promise, but I want to try to do at least one Better Call Saul thing a month or once every couple months. A Gilligan universe content of some sort, just because there's so many amazing people that we got together talking about this show that just, I'll see single one of you when I'm talking about another show here and there, but seeing so many of you all together again a month later is making me happy and making me smile. So I very much appreciate that and appreciate all of you folks that are in here today watching with me. It means so much. And you guys are an incredible audience. And we got super chatters. We got live audience. We got some phone calls. Well, who could ask for anything more on a Friday? But yeah, I mean, Sterling, I'm going to let smarter people talk about that stuff than but I'm not going to say you're wrong 100%. The new Handmaid's Tale is out. I love the name Jack Me Off. One of the best names in all of YouTube. Jack is a good dude. I mean, he can't help it if that's what he was named. I mean, when you have a last name like Me Off, it's tough if your mother chooses to name you Jack. I mean, you got to say that the parents had some great sort of sense of humor, but I think I don't want to make Jack Me Off feel uncomfortable. That's why I try not to pay too much attention to the name, because when you have that name like Me Off, it's tough it's tough. You have to be very careful. Your parents have to be very smart. They might not have realized what they were doing. June from absolutely. I just want some, you guys are cracking me up. I officially nominate Phil for an award. Not sure what it's called, but who's with me? That would be amazing. They used to have podcasting awards. They should have an award show, the Streamies or something. We'll call them the Streamies. Please nominate me for Streamy of the Year. Watch. I said that. Someone's going to steal it. Time stamp this later. I want my money. The Streamies are going to have. Maybe I should run the Streamies. Oh, is that a real thing? John Haymaker says the Streamies. Is that an actual thing? I just find it weird that Better Call Saul never won one Emmy and Breaking Bad won every year. It is weird. And it makes me think that there is some, if we're sitting here and we're playing the game here and sniffing around, I would say that there's some smoke there from a comparison standpoint. That's awfully coincidental. Maybe it's, we can't give them to them again. I'm feeling like they maybe the Academy would want to have given it to them at some point in the entire run and said, we'll get it to them next year. But every year something else comes up that they have to do instead. A show like Succession, and people that are saying everything Succession is an interesting show and a fun show, but it's also, about like a rich douchebag family. It's interesting that's sort of the show that beats Saul here. Like I feel like Saul is much more, what's the word? Just has much more of a universal appeal and connected with more people. And I know Succession has its great fans. I'm quickly becoming a Succession fan. I've loved every episode I've watched so far, and it's addictive, and I can't wait to watch the next one. But I think it's such more of a specialty audience than Better Call Saul, which I think captured some element of the mainstream in this final season. Whether you thought it was the best season or not, it deserves credit for what it was able to facilitate in a sense of adding complete stakes to a prequel series. Something that I don't think many things have done except for maybe The Godfather. And I'm not talking about sequel series, spin-offs. Many shows have had successful spin-offs. Not as successful as the original. You got to look to like Frasier for that, or maybe some of the Happy Days ones or something. But But realistically speaking, not in my memory, have really seen too many prequels. And there's probably a few more. Someone's gonna bring up like some other prequel here and there, but it's not too common in my experience for a series to be this good. Excuse me, and cross into the mainstream in this fashion. And it really did. It like people talking. Sorry, I'm needing some water. So while I drink some water, let me play a few messages from Jay. I'm reading your first message. I haven't checked it out yet. I might check it out at the end of the season. I'm neck deep in Dragons right now, and that's the show I'm following at the moment. And people, if you're curious of seeing me more often right now and you're just watching the Better Call Saul stuff, I am on 2 times a week doing sometimes 3, all on Sundays, doing Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon discussions. 6:30 p.m. pretty much every week. A few weeks I'll have to miss, but pretty much every week I join my partner in crime, Tony Teflon from House Teflon, Teflon TV. Check that out every Sunday night at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time for our pregame show. Bridge Ford joins us sometimes too as well. We sometimes have some guests. Sometimes it's just Tony and I. We're talking about that. Also over on Teflon TV, talking about the show From. We recently did an interview with one of the actors, Elizabeth Saunders. Great fun time. So you can check that out over there. Then I do my recap right after the episode airs. Unfortunately, no Joe Dirty Locks as of yet. Maybe Joe will show up at some point, but not as of yet. Maybe he's warming himself up for those final 4 episodes of The Walking Dead we're going to be talking about. But who knows? But no Joe as of right now, but I talk about it for about a couple of hours after the episode. And then sometimes I'm lucky enough to bounce over to Preston Jacobs' channel to join Preston and Carmine for their after show discussion for the last half an hour or hour. I've joined them 3 of the 4 weeks. So check those places out on Sundays and make sure you subscribe to all those people for their awesome content as well. Okay, so listen to another voicemail from our good buddy Jay here, who's going to call me to task about something here. I know Jay well enough. Oh no, the show's not over. Don't play that music. Okay, I know Jay well enough. He's going to call me to task. I got something wrong here. Oh, I think Jay's phone's messed up. That's why he left me a longer message. Okay, area code JJJ.
Hey, just a thought. Do you think that Better Call Saul isn't winning an award because Breaking Bad won an award every year, and the writers, in their mind, aren't really comparing it to the other things going on? They're comparing it to Breaking Bad and going, this isn't as good as Breaking Bad, so we can't give it an award, because if we give it an award, people will think this show is as good as Breaking Bad, and we don't want to say that. All right, later.
Ooh, that hurts me. I hear you there. I agreed with your first half of your message. I'm not sure about the second because I think it's subjective. I think there is some element to them giving Breaking Bad awards so many years in a row that they feel like they can't keep rewarding the same people over and over again. And maybe it could be a slight against the Academy making a stand against shared universe stuff, even though Better Call Saul Breaking Bad is the least offender of all of that. I don't know. So it would be interesting. I would love to, and I'll work at it because I can. Getting someone from the Academy to interview them, that explaining to me why Better Call Saul hasn't won 46 opportunities. Again, I'm not saying it needs to win Best Show every year or ever right now. This is my argument here today, as I'm going to start to wrap things up in the next 10, 15 minutes here. But my argument here today that I'm presenting, or when we finish the chat, I'm going to get to every person's comment in the chat, is not that it needs to win every time. It's not that Bob deserves Best Actor every time. It's not that Ray should have won it every time. And even if you want to say that all the actors, because it's a subjective thing, you don't want to give it to any of the actors. And to your, I was just going to say something about Jay, but let me finish my thought first. So even if you don't want to give it to any of the actors, you're saying none of the production staff, none of the writers, directors, cinematography, or sound design that it was nominated for, I'm not sure what all the other nominations were, or costume design, or any of that stuff was worthy enough to win once. To your point, Jay, about the Breaking Bad thing, this just popped in my head. I could understand the show not winning for that reason that you put out there, because I think it's an argument which is the better show. As I said earlier, I think both shows are equal in their own way. So it depends on taste, which one's your favorite. But even if I want to give you that point, right? I'll give you the point for the sake of the argument that, fine. One of the reasons why they're not doing it is because it doesn't, in their minds, it doesn't match the quality of Breaking Bad as a show as a whole. That still doesn't explain not giving it to the actors for the performances. Because you've done that before in other shows with shows that aren't necessarily even the best shows, but the performances are great. No one would say, this show is going to be one of the greatest shows of the year, but they'll give it a nomination to an excellent acting performance. So even accepting all of that they wouldn't want to give it to any of the production staff, 25 times they nominated the actors for just the performances. And you're saying that, or not you are saying, the Academy is saying that none of those actors deserve to win it once. That to me is horse shit. That's a lot of fucking horse shit. Because you would almost want to stick it to Vince and Peter by giving it to the actors, but not even nominating the show for writing or directing or best show. And they've definitely done that in movies where directors have pissed off the Academy. So you'll see all the actors be nominated, but the movie itself isn't nominated. Or it's nominated for best writer or best producing, but not best director because they don't fucking like the director. You've definitely seen shit like that. I can't think of examples off the top of my head, but I've seen it happen many times where you're like, wait, you're given this best screenplay or best this or best that, but you're not even nominating it for best directing because you don't want to give it to this director. You know, whatever. Isn't Scorsese like he's only nominated for best director like once or something? Like it's something ridiculous. It's not even, I don't even know if Scorsese is the example I want to use, but there's like some ridiculous numbers for certain people, certain actors in certain choices. So even if you want to say they wanted to punish Vince and Peter for saying, they're saying you're using the success of Breaking Bad to build another series and we don't like that in the Academy. And we don't like that in the Academy, guys. You still should have given the credit to the actors, members of your Academy that deserve the respect and attention to deserve it. And then slight Peter and Vince. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a flying fuck. Aaron Paul should get it for Westworld. Better call Kim. El Camino. Kim returns to Nebraska, starts a new law firm. Tony Dalton and Reese Sehon do a sitcom together. I would watch everything. The Kimmening. Los Polos Hermanos. Sorry, Mr. Hayes. Davos Seaworthy's ancestor, Jonathan Banks. Still waiting on my planes, trains, and automobile stream from 4 years ago. Joseph, keep me. Joseph. I think I meant to do that on a Thanksgiving. So let me. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do that. Okay, Google, set a reminder for the day before Thanksgiving.
Got it. On November 23rd. At what time?
8 in the morning.
Got it. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. What's the reminder?
Planes, trains, and automobiles stream. It's Thanksgiving. Okay, that should have reminded me the day before Thanksgiving, but that's going to remind me tomorrow at 8 a.m. to make a note on my calendar to do a planes, trains, and automobile stream on either Thanksgiving, the evening before or the night of Thanksgiving. Thank you for reminding me of that. If I've made a request to you, if you made a request to me that I promised to do that I've never done, keep me honest. I took like a year and a half off there for a while dealing with some life shit. So a lot of stuff got missed from before. So if I missed it, and by all means, don't put it in the chat. That's why I left myself that message to remember it. Leave it in the comment section of this video or email me or tweet at me. You guys know how to find me in those places. So here we go. Jay's just here to buy a recliner. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Phil's recliner of rage. Huel. Never mind, Lady Stoneheart, Kimmy G. She's like, I can't do it. On the bright side, Eminem won an Emmy. He only needs to one more to get the EGOT. That's really cool. Need a spinoff called Better Tex Rex. You've got more dogs than Nathans in this fucking place. It's true. Every day it's a new dog. Kim is better than Ruth. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm realizing how behind in the chat I am. Kim is much better than Ruth. I don't want to poo-poo on Ruth's performance, but Kim is a different level of good. Let's get into a couple things before I get back to the live chat. And basically, that's how we're going to do things. I want to keep the chat going. Oh, there's Joe Dare Deluxe. Holy shit. We just got a super chat donation. I got to get over to that. Phil, you should do the Phillies award shows. I have done it in the past. I've done the Phillies award shows, or I've done the Issues Program awards at the end of the years. Maybe I have to bring it back this year. This might be the first year. I used to make Joe would do it with me. We'd nominate categories and give our picks. But let me see. I'll maybe talk to Tony and see if we can get a couple of other people to join us and do our award show for the year. Bring back. I don't think we've done it since 2018, but I believe there's one for 2016, 17, and 18 somewhere on this channel, like the Issues Program Award Show. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let me spin that wheel for you. Incredible. Phil, Antoine, bring that question into the live stream 2 nights from now. And because I actually want to really dig into that a little bit, Antoine. And this week is our last week with Millie, so make sure you ask me that question again in the next House of the Dragon stream. I like to fish, so I'm the master baiter. Millie was too good at her job, 100%. So keep that discussion going in the chat. I want to jump in it because of what's prime right now, but I want to keep things to Better Call Saul, generally speaking, here right now, and keep to the so Antoine, make sure you ask me that question again on Sunday because I do want to talk about that. While the masturbates, it's from History of the World Part 1. Thank you so much, Jack Me Off. I was right about it being Madeline Kahn, but I was wrong about what movie it was. Thank you for the correction. I'm glad we got to this point in the live chat. It's during the yes, yes, no, 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 yes, yes, no, no, yes, 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 no, yes, no scene with Madeline Kahn, who's fucking amazing in History of the World. Love that movie. And I have something fun, hopefully, coming up in the next year with History of the World with one of our friends that hasn't joined us in a while. I've been meaning to reach back out to him and see if he wants to join for a stream. So History of the World is, people can probably figure out if I'm talking about the movie History of the World, who I want to ask to do a live stream about that movie with, but we'll see it. First 2 seasons of Prison Break were great. The rest sucked. I would say, yeah, season 2 is still good because William Fincher, whatever his name is, was really awesome as Mahone. And I think he continuously was the best thing about the show in the final shitty seasons, but him and like Bullock and stuff. But for the most part, the show hit the shit end of the sticks at the end of season 2. First 2 seasons of Prison Break are good television, great television. Fibonacci and Teabag and like are horribly great characters, and what's his name, Sucre and the other dude, C-Note, are very well fleshed out characters too. I feel like all of the main cast in the first 2 seasons all had such good character progression in them that it worked, and then the show just got silly after that. Got silly. Season 1 greatness equals shooting your load a little bit too early. I agree with that. You always want to, when you start off a show, you almost always want to leave room for improvement. Great minds think alike. Loner Incognito, I love you guys. Phil, I'm here for you. Never seen a single episode of Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad. Bloody talker. That's why you're fucking awesome, dude. That's why you're awesome. That's why you're an FOP, motherfucker. Thank you for telling me hack because I thought Monty Python, but you do think Mel Brooks took inspiration. Absolutely. Jack Me Off. Thank you so much for that super chat donation. It landed on spin again. Spin the wheel again. Cobra Kai is peak television. Love Cobra Kai. I've enjoyed every season of it. I did a live stream. Usually I do it right after the episode airs. I think I'm going to go back to that because I seem to do better view-wise when doing it at 9 o'clock in the morning right after the episode airs. But if anyone wants to check out my thoughts on the most recent season of Cobra Kai, you can check that out on the channel. I think it's one of the last 2 live streams I did. Love to hear what your thoughts of this season is. And Cobra Kai might get a mention in those Phillies, the Issues Program Award show. But I like the Phillies. Let me take a picture of this one too to remind myself what to say. Dun 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 dun. Antoine, I saw your text message. I'm gonna leave that unread for myself so I can read it on either Tony's pregame stream or my live stream. Thank you, Antoine, for always keeping the fun going, buddy. Any non-winning Emmys will deter an audience. Absolutely, too. And it's a weapon for someone to hack the show down a little bit. Never won an Emmy. Oh, John Haymaker, that's a great comment. I hope you leave that comment. So we will definitely take that. That was fun. Come on, Joe. We need Joe's epic rant. I know. I'm missing Joe too. I'm missing some Joe Dirty Locks. I've been calling him out on streams and I've been sending him text messages. So Joe is off the grid. Like, all jokes being aside, I haven't heard from Joe for a few months. I assume life is taking over right now and he's a little busy with his job. He's got like a real adult person's job. So he can't always have fun in make-believe land with me talking about television shows. I can say with certainty Joe will be back at some point, but you know, I gave him the flexibility for Saul in House of the Dragon. He knows he has no choice for Walking Dead. He's going to be back, and people don't know this. The final episodes of The Walking Dead have some crossover with House of the Dragon. So I'm only going to be talking about the final 4 episodes or doing live streams of the final 4 episodes of Walking Dead. I'll be releasing shorter reviews, or maybe Joe and I will do it on a different night. I have to actually talk to Joe about it because I almost will do The Walking Dead as short pre-recorded reviews and then do one at the end of the last episode if Joe's not a part of it, because it doesn't make sense to do The Walking Dead without Joe rants. It just doesn't. There's nothing. There's nothing. So I don't want to talk about that show if I can't have Joe calling it a shitload of fuck. So X Swordstone, it's amazing fun to get to talk to you, and thank you so much for sticking around for as long as you could. But yes, Joe is hardcore though. We all want Joe here. I don't think he's watching House of the Dragon yet, and I don't think he's watched this season of Better Call Saul yet. I think he's busy with life shit at the moment, and I'm trying to being sensitive to it while still making jokes. But truth be told, Joe texted me in July that he'd be by in an hour, and I haven't heard from him since. So that's the truth. That's the absolute truth. So I don't know where Joe is right now, actually. Love you, Phil. Phil, I will eat a turkey leg in your honor. You better do that. Oh my God, I was wondering. I didn't watch the end. We got the amazing, incredibly talented Carol Funk in the live chat. Yeah, it got fucked, Carol. It got fucked. William Fincher is a great actor. Underratedly great. His character of Mahomes and the progression of playing addiction and all sides of it was one of the best television performances of that era that got unrecognized. And I'm not mentioning like award stuff, but William Fincher, I always had a dream of seeing him show up on Better Call Saul as an opposing attorney to Saul, because I think he would play that part exceptionally well. Obviously, he has a very memorable cameo type role in The Dark Knight, but great actor. Underrated, unknown kind of actor, but great actor. He's a little bit of a hermit. No, I do know Joe's been, like I said, he's been, works an adult person's job, and as people that watch the show know, works with patients and works in the medical industry and does like real adult, Joe's doing real awesome work. So even though Joe's not with us watching, issues program setting. He's always one of my best friends, and I know he goes through difficult stretches. This happens to be one of them right now. But that being said, he'll be back, and I'm going to make him come back for The Walking Dead. He doesn't have a choice. I knew he was going through a rough stretch. I gave him a choice. I was like, if you start watching House of the Dragon, message me. If you start catching up on Better Call Saul, message me. He has to watch The Walking Dead. Fuck him. Exactly. We're putting Joe in a crate and sending him off to Pentos. So everyone, now's as good a time as any. I'm going to start to wrap this up. Thank you so much to everyone that has joined me this afternoon. It's been great to see all of you guys, so many voices. I haven't done in faces. I don't often do daytime streams, so I appreciate that everyone joined me today, this afternoon, even though I am on Friday afternoon when I initially planned to do this at 7:30 at night. But most of all, for this video right now, I have to thank. Wait, where is this? Where it is? Is this my text? No, that's not my text. Oh no, that's. Sorry, I'm screwing this up. Most of all, I need to thank Mummy Ray, who is our very special super chatter on one of our House of the Dragon streams, which goosed me, reminded me, patted me on the ass, and squeezed my testicles to make me come out here. No, she was amazing. Gave us an incredibly generous super chat donation just to get me to come out here and talk about Better Call Saul this week. Mummy Ray, I won't make you wait again. We'll do another Better Call Saul stream maybe a month from now, because maybe we'll keep to this schedule at least a little bit, because technically this is, as I mentioned before, a month and a day after the end of Better Call Saul. So I wanted to do this stream yesterday, but again, got busy with life stuff to just do the coordination of the schedule, to do it exactly a month after the series ended. But I'm glad I was able to come out here this week and give Mummy Ray what she wanted and have the opportunity to talk about this amazing show again. But this will not be the last time. See you guys in about 30 days again to talk about Better Call Saul again. But I will be on live this Sunday evening on this channel at about 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be on the amazing Tony Teflon on Teflon TV, at 6:30 p.m. and very possibly in the late night hours of the final half an hour of Preston and Carmine's stream on Preston Jacobs' channel on Sunday evening, late night. So please check me out all of those places. Other than that, I will be back ASAP for some more Better Call Saul stuff and some other random stuff, as I just got a replacement video editing computer so I could go back to making short, silly videos too, to do shorter request reviews and all that kind of stuff. Thank you to all of our super chatters, all of our channel members that I see in the live chat. I saw a channel member in the live chat. Where are you? John Haymaker. Thank you so much for being an amazing channel member. One of our incredible shit buddies and supporting us with a dime bag of support. People wanted Joe. Joe's in the live chat right now. There he is. There's some Joe. So if you haven't already and you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Share the channel with a friend. And remember, Better Call Saul. Hopefully we won't be in this position next season. And we can actually celebrate an Emmy win. I'm going to keep the vigil going month by month, promoting this damn show, keeping it alive. Hopefully I'll get some guests in future months. As I mentioned, the Vivid Kiwi, definitely. Me and him talked about this yesterday, and I can say with certainty I will have Tony motherfucking Teflon on here as well to talk some Better Call Saul. So make sure you check that out. Subscribe to all my friends, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Oh, yes. Phil, is my Bruce still a Twitch member? I have to double check on that. I haven't been streaming on Twitch at all since June, really. I will be back to streaming on Twitch, especially because there's some amazing games coming up that I'm going to want to be playing in the next couple of months. So if you're subscribed to me and following me on Twitch, please stick with me on there. I'll try to pop on in there maybe sometime this week, midweek. I finally might have a free midweek, like a Wednesday or a Thursday. Not Wednesday, Thursday, to come out instead of doing a live stream on something. I think I have this week free. I might be able to do a video game stream. So we can check that out. Keep an eye out, Peter Griffin, for when I go live over there. We'll see if you're still following me and subscribe. So please do that too, as once the new Zelda game comes out, I'm going to be streaming that. That cat game that came out a couple months ago, I'm going to get that. I'm also going to be getting the new Harry Potter game when that comes out this year. I'm going to be getting the new Fire Emblem game and probably a bunch of other games too. So if you're interested in video game stuff, make sure you follow me over there as well. I want to see a Telltale Better Call Saul prison game. Can we get that? Talk to you next time. They snubbed us, KP. They fucking snubbed us, buddy. Love you, Joseph. Love you, KP. Love you all, you guys. You guys are awesome.